Hello and welcome back to another zine unboxing stream with myself, Arrkay, and as always, my co-producer Tempo. And joining us as our guest today is Dralen Dragonfox. You may know Dralen from his sultry voice on Voice of Dog podcast, your favorite furry audiobook, or on stage doing improvisation at Fernal Equinox. Did I miss anything, Dralen?
Also Camp Farrell.
And Camp Farrell, of course. So last time we mostly got a box of Rowrbrazzles. So this time we have a box of more assorted comics and zines and some art. So it's going to be a much more of a mixed bag today. So I think we are going to get started with this mysterious red folder here. It is labeled Kittle Divvy books, I think. Yeah, Kittle Divvy books. So,
She looks kind of like an elf.
yeah, and it looks like we actually have some proper zines this time. Ransfur, Go For It, Warbirds, more Warbirds, Trana Tunes.
Oh wow!
So let's dig in.
They've never been stapled.
Well, yeah, these were Taral's, so these might have been like the artist copy that he saved for photocopying. Taral mail order catalog.
This is back when we all had to make our own staples.
Yeah.
We just push pins back then. Yeah.
So this looks like flyers. Yeah, this looks like flyers. There's a photocopy of a sketch of a layout, not the original. Looks like Taral kept a lot of his correspondence, and this is no different.
I wonder if that airplane was because of Tailspin, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Got some Miyazaki Nausicaa.
Yeah, like Ryan, like it was very detailed, so that might be more Miyazaki.
Yeah, so this looks like a lot of prices. I don't know if this is super historically valuable. This could be one of the few things that just go in the recycle, because this is a lot of scraps, a lot of zine making materials that I think you would cut out and put into a physical photocopier.
Right, and this is
this is it. This is so it's all cut out, it's on cardstock. It's all these little cutout. So this is the zine making process.
Yeah, like for those of you who have not had to, who like have only ever laid things out on a computer, like,
Yeah.
even people in this group only got like a taste of this probably on conventional zine making.
Yeah, so here's the copy, and then
Where we did a lot of the physical layout stuff. But
yeah, so unfortunately, I have no idea what to do with this artifact. Because it's rather unusual. It is like the original layout for this zine. So I'll be very interested to hear what the preservationists have to say about it.
Yeah, if they don't want it, you could always, put it in a charity auction.
I might, but even then, I'm not sure what the overall collectability of this is, you know? But that is certainly interesting, and I think there's going to be some other stuff like this, so I'm going to put this back.
The mail order catalog kind of reminds me of that. There's like a furry comic from several years ago, like single shot that has like the manual, like analog version of Fur Affinity, where you like send messages in tubes and a tube runs to your house like a bank tube. and like you keep saying like, yes, I would like to see these images, and you check the image, you check off the images, and then it sends you the furry images at full resolution printed through the tube, right? And it's like a guy in like, you know, like a bear guy or something. It's in like the 60s or 70s or something. Like, yes, I would like to see this. And then like in, you know, whatever time, right? In like however long they've managed to photocopy enough copies of the thing and zine it to you.
Yes.
Send you the zine in the tube.
The other important note for my purposes is that there's absolutely no date on that zine kit for that mail order catalog. Undated. This is dated. We got March 1993, and I think this is going to be a similar, like, raw... Oh, that was NSFW, but that's why the stream is listed as 18+, because you never know when you're going to get a little surprise. So let's cautiously take another look.
We're getting some feedback that I am too quiet, so I'm...
Okay, I can manually...
You want to turn down.
I can manually turn you up in Discord. I've boosted you to 130% there, Dralen.
How's that? Is that a little bit better?
Hopefully. So I'm going to cautiously turn pages now because I already saw some cooch. And yeah, this is more zine layout. So we have cutout pages from photocopy. Looks like even potentially from the library or something. And here's a little busty pinup of Rocky the squirrel.
One thing that might be useful for those like catalogs is kind of like as a checklist of how many of these comics do we actually have, or zines do we have that are on this list?
Yeah, this looks like it's just for photocopying. This is all cutouts. And it appears to be a story of Rocky and Bullwinkle with a little adult edge. And it's like fully the raw zine photocopying document. So it wouldn't surprise me if we find the final zine for this, but it is quite interesting that we still have...
That's another thing to consider is if there's no copy available of a zine and you have the photocopy original, you essentially can recreate it.
Totally. So, what would we even call this? Interview with Rocky? I'm labeling these as zine materials, since they aren't quite the full zine.
Honestly,
or rough
go ahead.
layouts, or roughs or layouts. We're still getting feedback that we're all quite quiet, actually.
Oh.
Sorry.
Alright. I can turn off my gain.
Okay. Am I still quiet? That's as high as my gain goes.
Let us know in the chat when we're more audible.
But yeah, like we tend to think of this like, you know, I have made a fan art AU, yeah, as like a very modern thing, like, but it actually, you know, predates, you know, common use of the internet. Like the idea of like, I am going to make my own version of a thing is actually really, really old, and older than the idea of I am making a canon version of a thing. As my underwater otter archaeologist partner frequently reminds me. Like fanon is older than canon.
All right, I
because
fiddled with some audio settings. I think you guys should be coming in a bit clearer now. So
Yeah, really
apologies to our
better. It's
audience
more
if there's been
audible.
some rapid changes in that, but we're working on it. All right, so guess what I just found? I found a copy of that zine we were just looking at, but it's an actual photocopied final, or perhaps a draft, because I still see some cutouts and some whiteout. There's 2 of them here. Yeah, so here we have more drafts of Taral's zine making process.
One thing that I remember about cutting things out and putting them on photocopier to assemble them was like the lack of fidelity was a feature, not a bug sometimes, because you want things to be a flat white when you whited them out.
Yeah. Okay, so
It was certainly an aesthetic.
Oh, well, yeah, right. Like a non-photocopied zine is always like essentially one step away from being an anthology. Like it's almost a magazine, not a zine.
yeah.
Yeah, who was it? Who was it that said the flaws of the media you listen to become its selling point later? Was that
Yeah. So
David Lynch?
I'm tastefully obscuring some booby. There's still a little bit of robot nipple, but I think that should be acceptable. And this is Sexy Skunk by Taral Wayne.
Oh, she's a robot skunk. Okay.
Ah,
She has a regular android head.
I suspect this entire folder is probably all drafts of this. So I think this whole folder will probably be auctioned off as a whole for an eager collector who would be interested in such a thing. Or wonder if there might even be someone in publishing who might be interested in these works, who could recreate these, but who knows? So here's critics.
So the problem that I would run into on the publishing side would be something like, do we have permission to reprint,
Yeah,
right?
that would be like an estate thing. You'd have to ask the next of kin. So yeah, here we have whiteout. We have more cutouts. This is a critical review of the Furry comic Critters, cheekily named Critics, of course. And it's mostly text.
Yeah, it's super fascinating to me because like, oh, I'll put it in the chat, but like the prior stage of zines before this was like you type it on a typewriter and then you photocopy it, and this is on a computer and then you copy it still. Like you're still even if it's partially digital, you're still not like printing it.
Yeah.
yeah, because it was at this time, it still wasn't widely available to have really common access to high quality laser printing or even inkjet. Right at this time, it was mostly home use was still mostly dot matrix printers with those printer feeds, right?
Yeah.
Which didn't look very great. And if you did have a really high quality printer, it was actually quite expensive to print at home. So you wanted to print out as little as you could, and then photocopying was cheaper and less, resource intensive for yourself.
Well, and you never like when you use the photocopier, you could maybe also just like do it at the your school or work for free while no one's looking, or at the library if you like, threw them a couple bucks and no one would really make then you'd only use what you needed as opposed to buying a machine to do it.
Absolutely. Transfer.
It's almost like the maker spaces that are sometimes at libraries now. Like
Yeah, okay, so we have these wide spreads, and it's a slow transformation sequence of this woman turning into a gazelle.
Tasteful side boob.
They're quite large. She was a girl no longer, but a gazelle of unknown type. Did those large doe eyes contain a spark of humanity still? We were never certain. The gazelle girl was through the reeds in an instant and gone. We never saw her like again.
Got a little bit of Bambi going.
Totally.
Yeah. Early TF sequences.
October 93. Taral was very busy in 1993.
Well,
That's
then we
the
have
year
these.
after I joined the furry community. I joined
there you go.
sometime in 1992
That's good.
Yeah.
when I arrived in
So
Furry
how-
Muck.
Drawings.
Dralen, how did you get into furry?
I was on so in early 90s I was on in my high school we had access to the free net in our city, which was I grew up in Ottawa, and free nets were just sort of popping up everywhere, and this was still when you had to dial into stuff like that. Oh wow, it's actually
Look at that! I thought it was going to be like a clear animation cell, and it's just a cutout.
Yeah, it's
Just
just
a
a
cutout,
cutout
yeah.
that's just glued down to the background. And up here is also just pasted text. So again, this is just like the raw materials of what eventually became a zine called Transfer. And I'm sure this collection has proper copies of all these. I have just yet to get there. But we have this whole folder of all of these rough drafts. And it's really interesting to see the process of how we made a zine in 1993.
for sure.
But yeah, Dralen, so you were in like proto chat rooms?
So yeah, so there was a local IRC that was just for the free net, and one of the guys in there went by Red Fox, and I chatted with that guy occasionally and from time to time, and he told me about Furry Muck, and I ended up on Furry Muck and SPR, socio-political ramifications, and tapestries were like the three big ones at the time.
What
And I
was
tried to join a couple.
sociopolitical ramifications, because I know that came up as like a meme recently.
Yeah, it
remember
was a
what's
meme.
that about?
I think it was from Albedo. I think it was just a term used frequently in Albedo. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was just another muck. It was just a slightly different vibe to Furry Muck, less populated. I don't. It's been so many years. Like I don't think I've been. I think I stopped going to SPR in like the late '90s, so it's not like I have a clear memory of that one. To address a point that Tempo made earlier about Fanon being older than canon, there's an author and columnist here in Toronto called Anthony Oliveira, and he's a comic author great guy. Hosts the Dumpster Raccoon movie nights at the Review Cinema, and he loves to say that Paradise Lost is one of the first fan fictions. It's fan fiction of the Bible.
Yeah. Well, and like you work with what you've got, and when the only book that most people would have had access to would have been a religious text, you make fan fiction of that.
Yeah.
And like, but like, it's totally everywhere else too. Like if you think about like hearing a folktale, well, you're also going to retell that folktale, right? And then you'll adapt it a little bit. You know, if you go somewhere where they don't have like foxes, but they have like coyotes, you would just retell it with a coyote instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got a lot
Just
of
a
pen
collection-
So this is just a collection of
collection of
Taral's art, and it looks like it was bound like with a spine.
Yeah.
But for storage, he took it out of the spine and slid it into the slip.
There's some anime looking
Yeah.
Galaxy Express stuff.
There's Calvin and Hobbes. I have to be really careful because there's some distasteful nudes, so I have to like peek at the page behind first before I fully turn. There's some really cute ones in here. Some really good line art, good strong lines.
Well, and this also is an instance of like, you know, the idea that like we must very carefully, hide any kind of nudity is
Right. Well,
also
again, Tempo,
within
we
the
don't want to be
fandom.
demonetized.
No, no, no. I'm just saying like when people harken back to an era of the fandom that had no nudity or anything of any kind
Yeah. Oh, it
available,
was
they are
always there.
imagining,
No such
yeah,
thing.
like
And I think it was
Never
largely
happened.
Taral's fault.
that was always naked.
Yeah, well, he penned the letter to the Voodoo people and be like, why isn't there more sex in funny animal comics? Famously,
Well, and
as it says on
like
his
I
wiki
was
page.
I was in furry, like I said, in the early '90s, which is not long after furry became quote unquote a thing. And it was a smaller community then, and it was easier to know more people. And I happened to end up in communities that had a lot of artists, like Foxfire and Chronos and the Dragon Singe, Singe. There was a bunch of people named Singe with different spellings. And they all drew porn. I mean, they all drew naked art.
Indeed, like Firefox is drawing porn again.
Yes, yes, he's had a
Fun.
rough time of it in the last couple of years, but I'm still in touch with him. Still in touch with Kronos. Singe sadly passed away. Had a he had a fall in a bathtub and broke his neck. It was horrible.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah, and like I just happened to be in a community that had a few people who emerged as artists that were big at the time. But yeah, I mean, everyone.
Well, yeah, it was a
everyone
small pond
drew
too,
adult
so
art.
it's not like
It was a small pond.
terribly hard to be big at the time amongst furries.
Yeah, you did art, you were famous.
Yeah.
If you drew anything, you were famous.
Well, and like that's you are famous to someone in the fandom if you post stuff. You tend to have like your followers who are just like, oh, like that. It's like that photo of like the one guy in the empty audience going, "Woo!" Like, right? Like,
Okay. This is probably
And
one
you-
of the
you-
least furry ones we've seen so far. It's
okay,
mostly
like there's
story.
a lot of like elf-looking stuff,
Yeah.
and like,
So there is a working copy with like the whiteout and the cutouts and stuff, but this copy I just flipped through looks like more like the master photocopier version. So I just logged it. We're gonna put it away and keep going.
Yeah, the intersection of early furry and militaria is always very strong overlap.
Well, we were talking
Yeah.
with Slate earlier about this performed adulthood when we were talking about like all of these boobies, and I think
Yeah.
also playing into the edgelordy military kind of vibe also lends itself to that because then you can be violent, you can show guns, you can have Nazis.
Yeah, and to add on to that performative adultness, there was also, I mean, at the time,
All right,
it's a term that we don't really want to use anymore, and they called them herms.
yeah,
And that chicks with dicks, but it was really guys with boobs. And the boobs were there for like plausible deniability, sort of.
yeah. Okay, so this should be relevant for you, Dralen. This is a collection of Toronto furry artists from like trying to find a year on here is crazy. But this whole batch so far has been from 1992, 94. So tell me if any of these names sound familiar. Of course, they have their full address because at the time you needed to have their full addresses.
and like, what other option did you have?
Yeah.
Right?
So we have Bonnie Birchill, Todd Sutherland, John Bolton, Chuck Davies, Andrew
Chuck Davies
Murphy
is Ferris.
Me.
Andrew Murphy Me is Slinky Tree Cat.
Okay, Slinky.
Chuck
Gary-
Davies is Ferris.
Sorry, repeat that.
Chuck Davies is Ferris.
Ferris. Gary Burke, Peter Maloney, Ken Rosser, Stephen Baldessera.
Yeah, some of them I recognize the names, but I probably only know their furry names.
Yeah, we have the Trapline BBS, Canada's first furry BBS.
Todd Sutherland.
had a fun anecdote about that BBS.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Todd Sutherland. I know that name too. I feel like I know that
yeah,
person.
well, you probably know their furry name.
And I know them by their furry name more.
Yeah, 95. So I'm still narrowing down what year this is. Lion King came out, so here's an ad for Lion King condoms. Delightful.
A comment from the comments on the YouTube video here. We got particularly it took up in the 90s is from Deep Space Swine.
Yeah.
Particularly it took up in the 90s as fan groups were being seen as profitable and radical, with Furry this one instance of older and online fan communities being written as too weird.
Right.
Furry was something to exclude versus new fandom and internet culture.
So I think I gotta date this 95. Because of course there's no freaking date on it.
Yeah,
But
I definitely know
latest
some.
art
I
piece
definitely
was
know
signed.
some of those people, though. I've probably met most or all of them.
Well, that's why we got you here on the stream today, Dralen. Yeah, next time we will get a little music. We'll get a little lo-fi or something in the background. I think that's what we're really missing, but I kind of have my hands full of comics right now to set that up. So I'll do it for next time. We
It's
won't
okay.
do it next week, but we'll probably do it the week after. This is the last one out of this folder, so I think this will be the last, maybe the last raw zine that still has these cutouts. August 1993.
Identity is so fluid though in the fandom that like sometimes I will like someone, like some author or artist or someone, or even just some like person commenting, and then they'll disappear for a few years, and then they'll come back and they'll have like changed enough of their style that I don't recognize them under their new name, and then it's only if I talk to them that they say, "Oh, I'm also Foxy Fluff 15," and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, there are some artists who have like so radically reimagined their style completely from when they started to now. Like Chris Goodwin's a good example, right? And he's rebranded several times. I think he started out as Path, and now he's Easel Kunst or something like that as a donkey. Fascinating artist. And then Gloomwolf became Art Decade, I think. Am I right
Okay.
about that? And
Right,
the,
and
text.
the art style changed from quite cutesy to a little more realistic, sort of realistic. It's still toony, but less cutesy toony.
right. We only know like Mackay Fennec is what's their name
Moody
because
Ferret.
they keep because they keep drawing William Riker.
Yes, yeah.
That's the only clue we have.
Well, Moody Ferret's style hasn't changed drastically. The skill level has increased with
Right.
practice, but
I have occasionally sent artists like an image I think they'll really, really dig, and it turns out it's from their previous persona.
Mm.
And like I try to tell them that this is a compliment. Like I didn't know, and like I'm not telling you suck now.
Okay, well, there's that folder done. That was really interesting.
yeah, really cool to see how the sausage gets made. That's fairly fascinating.
So I got a couple more folders like that. This one is labeled More Kittle DeV books, so let's just take a quick little flip and hopefully we don't get flashed.
You're doing a
There's
good
so
job
much
of
like
looking ahead.
And it's interesting because we just didn't have as many things to reference back then. So you see a lot of like Star Trek over and over, and you see a lot of like old movies over and over. and like Metropolis style androids or Star Wars style. You know.
Yeah. So it does seem to be some of the some more raw ones here. Strange
Attractors.
1992. Some sketches.
Another transfer.
Fur date 97 to 98. That'll be interesting. Okay, I don't think I want to flip through every single one of these, but we can certainly dip our toes into some of these.
This is another catalog. Commissions by Taral Wayne.
Like something he would put out at a convention, like on a table for his price sheet, right? So unfortunately, I don't think that has value other than for a private collector. I can faintly make out some big bosoms through the paper on this one.
They're 3D embossed.
Okay. Yep. Let's see. This is all bosoms. Oops.
Oops. All breast.
Like it's all like that's the whole folder. I'm not even gonna bother opening this one up
on camera.
Taral had a few collections like that.
Yeah, of course.
Someone in the chat asked, what is it like to see and handle work today where it's digitized and circulated almost too quickly to enjoy versus print, which forces contact in some way? So, like, as someone who works in, like, again, furry publishing, like, a lot of people really, really enjoy physical versions of things in addition to, like, digital versions. Like, there's almost no point to do it aside from like wanting that connection. Like you could read all my books on your phone, but people still buy my books in print form, and that's honestly really cool. It means that, you know, you have it, it can be easily given to someone, you don't need to fiddle with it ever to make it work, it's just a book. And so like it hasn't really like cannibalized the ecosystem like we thought it was going to, like when ebooks and audiobooks and whatever started being available on the internet. So yeah, I was in exactly 50% of the Heat magazines. Someone is like, y'all got Heat magazine from Soph Wolf. So I can say that I am, you know, after working with the Soph Wolves, I am an honorary Soph Wolf, and I've been working with them for several years, and we are slowly moving back toward getting old versions of it out. And if people are ever interested in being not just a contributor but an editor, I can point you in the right direction if you want to reach out to me. But like that is something that would be necessary for it to have new volumes.
So I in a weird serendipitous little moment of Taral speaking to us from the past. It looks like it's copied and pasted from December 1998 by BS Fan 17, Steve Styles' editor. It's called Nothing Like the Sense of Wonder. Well, boss. Oh, so this is like almost like written like a poem or in stanza or something. It's all lowercase. There's no punctuation. Well,
Very
boss,
E.E. Cummings.
I was checking out that load of old magazines you saved from the trash compactor. Imagine my surprise when I met a bookworm. The weather had been horrid this last little while. The magazine I found him in was swollen and with damp rot and smelled of unclean memories. Disinterred too soon from the grave. The worm had been many years between these pages, and he was much the worse for it, and yet he found it a home that he was plainly loath to leave. Pal, I said, you would object to a spot of friendly advice. Not at all, he replied. There's a fine, dry magazine there in your box, next to the soggy mess you call it. So, I would read this whole thing, but it is several pages long. I just kind of stopped in my tracks when it was like this weird little poem about finding zines in the trash. Because that's kind of the story of how I came across this stack of zines.
Scrooge
Uncle
McDuck.
Scrooge in his pile of zines.
That's funny.
That is very funny, actually.
They're harder to spit out than the coins when he comes to the surface.
Yeah.
1986. Yeah, there's lots of stories. Lots of writing. Oh, this is a nice landscape.
Reminds me of, do you know Inobi?
Yeah.
Of course you do. Yes. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Inobi's the black and white sort of high contrast stuff that he does.
Interesting. So this
Yeah.
seems to be a little curated collection. I don't know if this was ever published. Okay. I need to run to the bathroom, unfortunately.
It's okay. We can catch up on some of the materials, just Dralen and I.
Yeah.
So like
I'll leave this one
so
up for ya.
sure. So one thing we talked about last time, Dralen, is that like knowing that it's going to be like not just grayscale, but in some cases literally black and white. Like it's
Yes.
going to be like a laser printer. Significantly altered like what you could like limited what you could do with your art style, and it made people lean into these things where they have just these huge stretches of straight just jet black.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's continues to be a trend here. You know, even now we get like it's almost the reverse. We almost get cautioned with illustrations for print to be careful not to have huge stretches of black if you're going to do regular paper, because it can have any variance in how good the coverage is will result in it being uneven.
Really, really obvious.
Yeah.
And if you're using something like inkjet instead
Right.
of laser, it will literally saturate the page with
Yeah.
ink and will wrinkle your page and make it
Yeah.
more or less unusable.
It's so yeah, like but anyway, but yeah, to talk about Heat a little bit more, like Heat for me is like a really interesting point in the publishing landscape because it is an anthology and it is an art magazine, and it wants to look like it's really significantly more slick than this. But if you ignore the quality of the pieces, it's a lot like these zines. Like if you were on the phone with me and I was flipping through a volume of Heat and I described each thing to you, it would sound like I was talking about a zine, because it would be like, okay, like there's this cover artist and they did a thing that may or may not relate. There's kind of no theme, like not like a hugely strong theme, like it's kind of catch as can, and like, you know, oh, it's a poem and it's about this, and there's like a cool like minimalist piece of art around it, and then there's this, and like just on and on and on. Like you would just go through, and it's almost like we have the zine skeleton with nicer stuff on it, right?
Yeah.
When we look at things like Heat, there are other anthologies in the fandom that are a lot more proper anthologies in a way, right? They're like,
Yeah. Or like Genus or whatever. Genus. Did you put Genus in that category?
yeah, maybe, right? Tell me what you're thinking.
I think that one's more just adult work, but
But it has a theme, like
yeah,
Genus,
for sure.
right? And I think it even had a theme by volume.
Yeah,
Genus?
I didn't.
I don't
read
remember.
all
I
of it.
didn't read very much
I
of
didn't
it.
have access to a lot of Genus. It wasn't on shelves.
But there was like
around here.
Genus, and then there was the gay Genus,
A Genus male.
and then like and so it was, but yeah, right? Like there are lots of them in the fandom now that are like more coherently like structured in a traditional sense, like the like you'll have like a muscle fur anthology, or like a single
Sure.
artist anthology or something, and it'll be like that thing, and you're like, I know who'd like that thing, but the only unifying theme of Heat, like no offense, obviously I'm a huge fan, but like the only theme that the person would casually notice about like a specific volume is furries. Like that's what would jump out at you. You'd say like, oh yeah, a bunch of furry stuff because it's gay, straight, lesbian, trans, whatever, mixed media, and so it's everything.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone.
No worries. And so, like, we were talking, we were saying that, like, some things like heat, if I told you over the phone what was in a volume of heat, it would sound like a zine, because it's a zine structure with more polished pieces. Whereas, like, a conventional anthology would be something like, we are doing poems about nature in this specific area or something. Like we are doing short stories about like, intergenerational trauma or something. Like that would be an anthology. Like that's what anthologies look like, is they'll be like, we want, the year's best science fiction and fantasy. That's an anthology. Like even the ones that the like Furry Writers Guild puts out are like, those are at least like, these are all of the things that won or not were nominated for our award.
Yeah. And I mean, Furlough even was broadly military themed, right? Like, at least to start. I think it diversified later.
That's not one I'm familiar with.
Oh no? I thought it had a lot of sort of military themed comics.
Okay. I just don't know the name.
Oh, Furlough? Oh, okay. It's an old one. It's that's around the same time as Albedo.
It's back. Furlough is returns to comic book shelves.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So here, looks like another draft, perhaps, because this title in the corner is sharpied to make it match. But it's still very digital. Let's see here. 1998. Demi-Monde portfolio by Taral Wayne. Hopefully there's not too many boobies. There is.
Of course there is.
Okay, well this one's
Taral.
useful. I can show this one. Yeah, they do have an elf-like quality, and I saw in the Rowrbrazzles we went through last week that Taral had a pretty big fascination with like Fraggles and like Gelfling and stuff.
Oh yes.
Here's another really cool one that does not have visible genitals. This one's fine. See, if they're all like this, then we wouldn't have an issue on the stream.
Right.
A
lot of them are too.
Yeah.
A lot of these too are also just like a one shot that clearly someone had an idea, but we may never know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because there wasn't like a Fur Affinity type space below it to just say like what you were thinking about it.
Some of it reminds me a little of the ElfQuest style, like Marcy McAdams.
Right.
Which was super popular at that time.
Okay. This is like not quite the. This must have been like a final draft or something, because there's a couple notes like written on the back of each one for what page number it should be. But I think this was just like the master one for pressing new copies.
Yeah, you could just print out, go Xerox a new copy to put out whenever you want.
Yeah, well, like I said, maybe I can pass these on to someone who has the time and money to do such a thing. Because
well,
I
and like,
sadly do not.
And the funny thing is that like, if you didn't want to professionally distribute it and you just wanted to get it online in a version that someone could print, or if you wanted to give it away at conventions, nobody can stop you, right? Like, who's gonna no? Right? There's no way to stop you, and no one would want to stop you. Like that, you gave away these photocopied zines, or like I guess printed now. You know, for the cost of an $11 extra deep stapler, you could do it at home.
Or for real authenticity, go into the business center at the hotel that the con is at.
Yeah.
Photocopy a few copies there and just put them on tables.
See, you will get like a vintage fursuit, and we'll have someone just look like they're really confused, like they've just stumbled out from the 90s, and they're just plopping down stacks of zines, and like they're asking about like, what's your ICQ?
This one is
CQ.
all pinups.
Right?
There's a couple here at the end that are not. Here we go. There's one that's
Kind of Alvin and the Chipmunks one. There we go.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, there we go.
Great.
Pew pew pew.
1993, and there's this one behind, a little
Civil War
Yankee
mouse.
soldier. I'm gonna assume it's a Yankee.
It is. It says US on it.
Yes.
All right, little.
Yellow Brick Road.
Yep.
I like the Tin Mouse.
Yeah, the Tin Mouse is an actual tin mouse, and then the lion is in a costume.
Is a
Interesting.
mouse in a lion costume.
Pig warrior, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I don't see a lot of pig warriors.
That is probably Red Shetland.
Yeah, it's maybe.
Oh, it's a
Shetland
horse.
pony. I think maybe it's
Course.
a pony with
Yeah.
a weird nose.
Okay.
This is the kind of artwork we're looking for. I'm gonna be careful again. Okay, that's fine.
A butt. Help.
Ooh.
I got my butt.
Ooh, this little gentleman skunk.
Oh, what a nice
He's
skunk.
fancy. Look at him.
Man.
He's keeping squid in his bottom shelf. His bottom
Where do
drawer.
you keep yours?
Right? I guess top shelf for easy access, but
Yeah. This is a rare male pinup in Taral's collection.
Oh, there you go. Little chipmunk.
But I do
Yeah.
have to obscure at least below his hips.
he's got shoes on. It's fine. He's not naked.
Okay, thank God. All right.
Some sort of 90s goth warrior.
Yeah. And another really peaceful, like, little scene.
And again, we're picking subject matter that we can intentionally get away with having in black and white, like raccoons and birch trees.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that goes in here.
I think that skunk guy was channeling the zine maker. Sitting at that desk being like, what am I even doing? I'm halfway through this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we still have quite a few to go through.
Someone in the chat agrees that yes, that was Red Shetland. Who later, I think, became. I think Jim Grote drew a bunch of Red Shetland later on.
And that's our one use of his name.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Didn't mean to spend it.
But like, it's fine. It gets it out of the way. The like, it's interesting though to see all these elves, because like elves are sort of like furry in that they are different and alien, and you can like compare and contrast them with us. And like, if you draw them a little bit different than you would draw a human, that's okay.
Okay.
Right,
that's
like,
the
think of the-
same as the other ones. This is a lot of pinups. So I think you would probably sell booklets like this at cons for a quick buck.
That one leans a little into
just simple 8.5 by 11s. Oh, there's a rare Tor.
A tar.
If they're all just 8.5 by 11s, and it's actually pretty quick and easy to even at a hotel photocopier, like make a bunch of copies to hand out and sell, right?
Oh no! Like, I would, if I could show up at a furry convention and print on demand there, my life would be fantastic, because then there'd be nothing to ship back or home,
Right, well, I mean,
from home or that.
You're usually selling like bigger novels. That's a bit harder to print.
I know.
Yeah, I do have to be very selective with which art I am showing.
This is a little
Lot of
leaning a
cooch.
little on the Eric Schwartz sort of style.
Yeah, a lot of skunks, a lot of ladies.
Yeah.
There's Bunny Rabbit, I think, from Sonic.
Oh yeah.
I think this is actually one of Taral's OC's, Beatrix.
Oh,
some
okay.
horror comics in this collection. He did that with Steve Galacci for a few years.
Hmm.
But I don't think it stuck. Didn't have the staying power.
Yeah, Steve Galacci still active.
Okay. Refurls.
It's a weird robot.
That
Looking
is a
back at
weird
us.
robot.
I kind of like it. Like, it's not threatening. It's just different. Like,
Please handle my keyboard.
right? Yeah. Like you are the ergonomics of that are interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like this robot who is like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, I'm in front of this, but go ahead and type on me.
Yeah, there's like... Oh, I see. He like... This isn't even just cut and paste. He cut it out and then taped on paper on the back so it's
Oh,
fully
wow.
flush so that when he photocopied it, it wouldn't have a weird line around it.
Wow. Attention to detail.
Interesting. And it looks like he had to fix all these page numbers too by hand.
Yeah, that the chat says this is a very brave little toaster robot, and I can see it because it's got kind of the rounded corners.
Yeah.
He's got the keyboard on the back of his head.
Yeah. Has a ribbon cable tied around their neck.
Okay. Time to tread carefully. I don't know if we might get jump scared by a pair of boobs.
Every furry's fear.
It's okay. So far, this has been a little more tasteful than some of his other ones.
I assume that star's velcroed on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she just has star-shaped nipples.
Oh, okay. That makes it okay.
Like, even this is acceptable, right? Like, we don't get the nipple, we don't get the cooch lines. It's a squirrel. She's just a busty lady sexy squirrel.
Yeah.
Oh, he's about to get his dick shot off.
Oh, gadget, cheesecake gadget.
Oh yeah, there you go. That is Steve Galacci.
Yes, it's signed. It's signed.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Galacci, 1991.
Aha!
Oh,
Cat dancer.
wow.
The cat fancier.
Dallas, the cat financier.
It's funny. It's funny because like you have furry media, like furry made media that is popular enough to have parodies.
Yeah. I mean, that is one of furry's real touchstones, is immediately making fun of something, right? Like, immediately.
I think it's just we're self-aware enough to know that this whole endeavor is quite silly.
Yeah, or immediately making not safe for work art about
Well,
something, right?
yeah.
Like, the fastest known speed to humankind is how fast furry artists will make NSFW of a new Pokemon that has been announced.
Oh, yeah.
Within minutes.
Yeah.
Seconds.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a good proportion, like stretched out kangaroo legs. This is clearly meant to go somewhere, right? This is like a story element.
Yeah, like a side of a book, or like you have the story on the side, and you got
Yeah.
some grade legs. Bunny.
See, that's like coloring book
It's
level,
like a
right? Like
coloring
that's
color.
page, yeah. Robot nipples.
more robo nips.
Oh, so
There's
this
your
is-
Confederate one.
There's your Confederate.
There's the
pin.
Confederate.
Yeah, boo.
Ooh.
We wouldn't do
Some
that
Centaur
now. Or
love, some slightly
Yep.
more tasteful centaur love.
oh well, look at that. That's again like a romance cover novel, right? Novel cover,
Yeah.
like
Like, this is cute. I think you'd see lots of artists even drawing in this style today.
right?
Mhm.
Has this TIE fighter front on it.
Yeah, that weird little spaceship.
Spaceship thing, a little space buggy.
This artist
an
likes drawing
ethnic stereotype
balls.
you can't
I will
do today.
say, this artist just can't just never met a ball they didn't like.
Pondering their orb.
Yeah.
Okay. This was fun. This is a good one.
That is, it's a cool little collection.
Yeah, a lot of these are just seem to be like art collections that you could easily photocopy for a con.
See, like, okay, for the people who aren't familiar, when you show up at a furry convention and you see a table with books, all of those books, came with that person or were shipped on a pallet at significant expense to be at that convention. Like a pallet previously in the US would have cost like $70 to go anywhere in the country, and now is like $1,000, like 10 years later. And so it's just runaway like market consolidation monopoly, and so now it's just absurdly expensive. And so like we now try really hard to only bring what we need because we don't want to ship anything back, or we want to only have like a trunk full of books.
Oh, absolutely.
See, that's what I was expecting. I was expecting transparencies just fast and thick in this.
Yeah, no, instead we get
Like, right, like
old school Photoshop, and I have a feeling this
and
one's
that's a
gonna
way
be
to do it.
fixed.
Some kind of space station
Space
something.
Yeah, that is a cool effect. Is that in the star field? It's really neat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's zoom on again. I know my camera is not very good.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's
Subscribe
really neat.
to Culturally F/Furry Film Barrow on Patreon, and maybe I can afford a new camera. Or get that converter thing so that I can get my DSLR hooked up. Nope.
Nope.
Well, and like if we had infinite time, we'd be doing things like going through and putting, post-it notes on the naughty bits, and then we just show you everything.
No, we're doing it raw.
Right?
Living
do it
on
live.
the edge. Living on the edge of demonetization.
Well, and like
The
in a
paper
way,
quality is all different. Every page has been like from a different printer.
Yeah.
or wasn't done right. Either wasn't done at the same time, or wasn't done at the same wasn't done by the same person. Just handed in.
I remember this scene from Sword in the Stone.
Right? Sultry squirrel. Another sultry elf squirrel.
Yeah, here you can see a Sharpied fix,
Oh yeah.
just to make sure that gets as black can get.
Right. Again, like we were talking about last time, like that was a recurrent problem, like a limitation.
Yeah, so this kind of stuff I would hand off to an archivist
Oh,
who can.
There's a Pepe Le Pew.
It is a great
Pepe Le
looking
Pew.
Tempe.
He's got like an old timey swimsuit.
Yeah, there's you can just like feed this into a scanner. Like some scanners, you can just feed a stack of paper like this.
Mm-hmm. That mouse! Look at this
This
mouse!
is great.
Yeah. Put that up there so we can see the whole thing. Like, that's
Okay.
great. I mean, like, I meant
Yeah,
like
yeah.
put it forward, but yeah, like, that's fine. Awesome. I love that
That is-
because it's like
that is-
it's such a like silly furry concept and instantly establishes scale. Like,
Yeah.
they're sitting on the mouse of indeterminate gender is sitting on a stack of cosmetics and using lipstick just all over.
That is too much makeup for you, small mouse.
Yeah. I use the average amount that a person uses. Well, yeah, but you're a mouse.
Lord.
Okay, make sure.
Chat talks about how we are seeing a lot of squirrels because of Looney Tunes. Right. Could be Looney Tunes, could be Sword in the Stone, Chip and Dale, Rescue
Yeah,
Rangers.
Taral also just had a thing for skunks and rodents and squirrels. It seems.
And rodents, yeah. Well, like in your first unboxing, you were reading Terrell's op-ed page, the Rat Sass,
Yeah.
which I thought was every time you said it, it was like, oh, like I don't give a rat sass.
Yeah, right.
Very cute. So clearly a fan of rodents, which valid.
Right. We validate that here.
And once again, Taral didn't date his work.
Well, and like the finished zine might be dated.
It might be. Maybe
Like,
if
we could-
if we encounter it in the collection.
And honestly, like we could even, if we had dates for some of them, and then they're all numbered, we could figure it out. like roughly.
Yeah, like this one's just a one-off, right? Like there's no number. It's just strange attractors, and it's mostly pinups with maybe a story at the beginning.
You want to know another way that Heat is a zine? Is it doesn't have the old Heats don't have text on the spine
Yeah.
because they're not like the assumption was like you just weren't assumed to put them on a shelf and have them be a book that you would pull down. Like it just wasn't a thought. Like people did, like they weren't opposed to it when they started doing it. They just didn't think about it.
Right, right.
Okay, so like I've labeled in my spreadsheet. There's two things we've encountered today. One was like the raw zine materials with all those cutouts from the late 90s, and the other one's like the one I just looked at. I'm calling master docs because they only have minute changes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, we're almost through the stack, and then I will try to fish out something different for a little variety. Here we have Transfer, 1992.
Is this going to be another transformation sequence? Isobel.
And we got text.
Oh, this is
We
the
have these
layout.
like weird
okay.
half pages.
Yeah, what's up with that?
My guess is
They would
because
probably
it only
get
takes
taped
up this
down.
much. Maybe that he would cut it out or cut it out by the paragraph and arrange for zine printing.
Yeah.
Make sure there's no nudity. There might be
Well,
a
and if you
little
think-
bit of nudity.
And this is almost like somebody going through my old Photoshop files or something,
Yes.
right? Where somebody would be like, "What kind of absolute like flip book of nonsense this is?" Where like it's versions of things and like it's yeah.
This scientist lady takes a pill and then slowly transforms over the several pages into a sultry skunk lady with big bosoms. Every boy's dream.
Yeah. Right. Every perfectly cis boy's dream.
Yeah, so here I think is like the cover, second printing, June 1993.
Oh, I see. Yeah. $3.
So, yeah, the chat's talking about how they would want reprints of Heat and Fur Piled. I agree. Like, I honestly, like, one of the things that I find a little bit frustrating about the fandom sometimes, and this is like sort of a paradox, right? Like, I love that the fandom is just like, and then we'll throw it together and it'll be like a thing, and we don't know who anyone's real name is, and it's all just like a freewheeling.
I mean, back in the 90s,
thing.
you had everyone's full name and address,
Right.
and phone number.
But like, right, we're talking about though, like, but like with like Fur Piled and Heat reprints. But like at the same time, like if you don't know the names of the people you owe money to, you can't give them more money.
Yeah.
That's what stopped a lot of these anthologies from having like an audiobook version or an ebook version. You know, same deal with these zines. Like if you're gonna have a thing that was like an electronic version of these, they would have to be free.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is zine materials, so it's all cutouts on slightly heavier paper.
And this is
all
pictures
Christmas
we've already
themed.
seen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, cute! Some cute bears.
Okay.
We saw this art piece in another one.
Done
Yeah,
this.
these are
We saw
like-
that one.
I think this is like Christmas cards. You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like you would cut this out, and yeah, they're postcards. You can see on the back here how they're
Oh.
priced, basically. Neat. Okay. I don't know if the zine library will want these.
We can but ask.
I have yet to return my email. I might have to go in person and like bring some samples and be like, "Do you want this?
Yeah.
How about this Rowrbrazzle? Does this
How
count
about
as a
it?
zine?" All right, fur date 9798.
Oh, you also asked Summercat.
No, my thing is I kind of want to keep these in Canada as much as possible.
Oh, okay.
because America has been a bit book burny lately.
Somewhat.
And I think, a diversity of sources for all of these is better than concentrating them.
Well, and there are copies in the U.S. of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Oh.
one of those things.
Interesting. It's a calendar.
Of Toronto events.
No. January 6th is labeled 1945, first Pepe Le Pew cartoon screened. Adorable kitty.
Oh,
January
it's a furry
8th,
history
1989,
calendar.
Revived Pogo Strip Begins by Doyle and Sternecki.
Wow.
And here, January 21 and 22, 1989, Conference 0!
So
Month,
it's just to have a little bit more furry in your day.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Because you could have this up in your office and no one would know. It's stealth furry.
My
1908,
very
Tex
first.
Avery born.
Oh my god.
But where are the pinups to match? This month in
So
Furry
there-
Society de Moufette Honoraire month. First issue of Uncle Scrooge. That's 1974. Watership Down. Interview with Rocky. That's Taral's own thing.
It's interesting that there's so much skunk material. So there's a few
You have
reasons
no
why
idea.
there's no. There's a few reasons why there's a lot of skunk material in early furry. Number one, it's really visually easy to quickly designate something a skunk, right? You're looking at a skunk with very little extra work because it's just a very bold, high contrast, simple pattern, and it's oh well, that's a skunk.
Yeah, there's some
and then
birthdays here, so I think maybe if you're a subscriber to Rowrbrazzles or something, you get a birthday in here. Chuck Melville's birthday, Michael J. Lots of furries were born in July. Ross Gibson,
and June.
Ridiculous.
And then the early, some of the early burned furs nonsense, they would label the undesirables as effers, right? And then the furries were like, hey, that's a great term. We're just going to use that.
Okay, and then it's 98, but it's the same. It's the same, all the same dates, all the same notable. Oh, but I could use this calendar this year because Sunday
Right?
on February
yeah.
starts on the 1st, and the 28th is a Saturday, so we could reuse this calendar this year if we wanted.
I had an elementary school teacher who did that. She just had 7 calendars and she just rotated through them. So she had calendars from the 70s or something.
Wow. Okay,
So
all right, there's no art.
to-
This is just calendar. This is so funny. I
To
can't
an-
believe this is a thing. And it's just a calendar.
right.
You'd think you'd have art with your calendar.
It looks like it's
Artist.
a Christmas gift or something.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It is rather festive on the cover. But is this a zine? What is
No,
this?
It might be zine bonus material, right?
Yeah.
Because it has the again, we have an orb to gaze into, so we know it's associated.
I don't even know what this is. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so we have here. Okay, we got some Rowrbrazzle miscellaneous. We could go through that as a change of pace from Taral's collection.
That's a very Thundercats or something looking character.
Oh, yeah. Heavy metal coated,
let's see
right?
here. I have
Yeah.
2 more folders of what I think are Zine Masters and Zine working copies. And I got these sampler packs here. You want to talk about skunks? Here's a folder
Whoa.
that's an inch thick. That's only skunk pinups that are 90% dirty. and they're just on printer paper. Like it's
Printer
not printed
paper.
any fancy. There's one that doesn't have her cooch all the way out, but it's an inch thick.
All
and
the
I'm
way
not
out.
gonna go through an inch of skunk pinups. Look how thick that
No.
is. And it's just they're just Xeroxed. Like I don't know who to give this to. So something
I
like
would
this
just-
might just like maybe I'll divvy it up because there's a lot of doubles. And
Yeah.
maybe like this can go out as packs to get auctioned off. Like I'll pair off and like separate some of these doubles and make little bundles or something. Oh yes, here is
Oh. One of the swear word replacements on that blue cover is interesting. In that little Rowrbrazzle number
Yeah.
65 square.
So we have a question in the chat. What's it like being a gay furry now versus back then?
That's a great question.
I'm bi, so I can't tell you.
Well, I mean, it was like even back then, the community was so sort of open about it. And it was kind of how, I mean, so I had like, I didn't come out until right at the end of high school, really. But I had a gay friend through much of high school, which helped. So having, early exposure to, positive
Normalizing.
examples. Yeah, normalizing it. And he was quite openly out. Like I went to Catholic high school, and he wore his bride rings, and as sort of an act of defiance. But then the school didn't care, and the principal was like, "Yeah, go nuts." It was at the time a fairly
Interesting.
liberal high school, Catholic high school.
So according to this, Rowrbrazzle was distributed to the U.S., Canada, Australia, and Italy.
Italy.
Ooh, and there's
But,
immediately
right away.
There you go. Anyway, Dralen, you were saying?
My bad.
But so like my early experience in furry was sort of what led to me having that realization for myself. It was not difficult to be gay in the furry community in any way. I mean, it was a far more oppressive attitude outside of the furry community, of course, at the time. So it really helped to solidify furry as this welcoming and kind of relaxed space to explore and understand and find yourself in that way, which I think helped. As with most people, I was probably too young to be accessing some of the material I was looking at. But...
Well, like, there's a good zebra. Look at that zebra.
Yeah, she's
that's really good.
Fabulous.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that zebra.
Like 1989,
That's amazing.
Like zebra stripe. Like look at her coiffed hair. Like it's
Links up with her stripes. Yeah, I'm there for that. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the Rowrbrazzle showcase from 1990 June. So this is like we've already gone through a couple of other showcases in our previous stream. But it's
There's
really
a Star Fox,
the best of the best. Unfortunately,
a female Fox McCloud.
Yes, Lady Fox McCloud. I'm pretty sure that character has a name, which is no one remembers it because she was only in the video game.
Farrah, I believe.
Yeah, so a lot of this is like best of the best, really well curated. Okay, here's Watchimals meets the Shadowpuss. And
It's
here
a
we
Watchmen
have a cat
spoof?
Rorschach and a bear Dr. Manhattan.
Right.
And an owl, obviously a night owl. Schmucks in Halloween suits. I really want to read this. This looks hilarious. Oh, of course, Ozymandias is a goat. The comedian is a pig. Delightful.
One of the things about like, oh no, I saw naughty pictures before, when I was a teenager, that I always kind of caution people about is like, well, no one ever got an STD from a picture, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
no one ever like there is a gradient there of like things that are,
Jefferson airship. What a long, strange trip it's been. 1989 by Roy D. Pounds II.
Okay.
Roy D. Pound. Shoot.
You can always look them up on
can't-
Furfinity or for
Yeah.
Wikifur if you.
Wiki for.
There's a very Tiny Toon Adventures kind of looking deer.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a Bambi.
yeah. There's like a Bambi comic here. Definitely see those Disney influences.
Kit Fox or Steam Fox
Okay.
was Roy Pounds. Yeah, I
This is
saw.
really
Yeah,
interesting. Actually, there's like, this is like
A
water
reflection?
of this drowned rat. So it's like this interesting like
Oh, wow.
doubling at the bottom there, and super
Yeah.
thick black ink. And then, of
Right, I
course,
think it's
over
supposed to
here,
be like
the
a-
rabbit,
Yeah.
double
Warren
inked.
piece, because he's a rabbit Warren. That's a good name.
It's a great name. Yo, look at this dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There we go. Right.
This is what furry's about.
Right. Like why not?
Yeah. And of course, some text, a story. There's another fox.
Whoa,
with a
she's got
sword.
a aerodynamic muzzle wings.
Face wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is technically a nude, but it's really well done. Really crazy
Sort of-
details on these like devil wings.
Yeah, kind of gargoyle-ish.
Yeah.
Some kind of wacky land Looney Tunes thing.
Yeah. Some more comics. Hold on. I feel completely naked without my belt.
Just kind of giving him a look there, and
Oh, hey, this artist just keeps coming up.
Very fluffy. I
Jay
recognize
Shell,
it
I
too.
believe. Someone linked me their Fur Affinity on the last stream. They are still drawing, though mostly muscly guys. But I still just love this cross hatching. Makes it look so fuzzy.
Yeah.
that mouse could be really
Oh,
muscly under
speaking
there.
of muscle.
There you go.
There
That's
you
a
go,
buff
yeah.
tiger lady.
Super buff.
Excellent. Right? Why not? Variety of body types. We're here for it. Look, there's kind of a chubby bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dad bod bear next door.
we're
Yeah,
in the,
why not?
We're in the J Shell.
Oh, we've seen this guy.
Section.
Yeah, it's this guy.
And then there's like a regular horse. That's just like well rendered.
Kind of has Eeyore eyes.
Slightly toony face, yeah.
Rowrbrazzles Showcase 1990. That one was a fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
It's so like I don't really know what I'm getting in these boxes, so I do try to like take a handful from a separate box just so that we can get a little variety and not just see all of Taral's zines. Okay, that one was cataloged. Next up, whatever this is, Rowrbrazzles 65, I believe.
Yeah,
Yes,
swastika
that
on the
makes sense, 'cause
cover.
This is Rowrbrazzles 65 Part 2. So we have
Yeah,
both-
I think it's meant to. I think it's meant to be like a replacement for a swear word.
Mm-hmm.
Rowrbrazzle is a word from Pogo.
No. The
It's a Growlix.
the little swastika there in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's because people thought it was cool in the '90s to be like that.
Rowrbrazzle 65 from the year 2000. Oh, and I had part 3 in the other box. Okay, so I can reunite this with that. 3 volumes. April 2000. Okay, interesting. Okay. The list of members.
Oh,
Terry Smith.
Michelle Light, Terry Smith. Okay, excellent. That's a really good one.
This is beautiful.
Very tasteful, but like steamy.
Yeah. This I definitely get a sense of this is becoming the furry art style for the 2000s, because furry art is very self-referential, and like if we go back deep enough, obviously it's connected to Disney and comic books and anime, but like there's some tours.
Yeah.
There's another
This is
Terry Smith, 1996.
Right in
it's
that.
dated.
Yeah, very Terry Smith.
Persona.
Chester.
Yeah. I don't know if Chester's a persona, just an OC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots. We're in the Terry Smith section, it seems.
Yeah.
These are all.
I don't know. I'm here for it. I follow Terry Smith.
Yeah, that was one of those formative art styles, right? Like you had,
Yeah.
you had
Really-
the Terry
really
Smith
defined.
style, you had like the Foxfire style, there was a few of those early styles that just really were very influential.
Right,
Chapter 2 of the story.
Jessica Willard.
Slate still draws dragon legs that look like Jace's dragon legs.
Jace, yeah. Also passed away recently.
Here is some lady wrestlers. Why? Because we have all body types.
Dinosaur wrestlers.
Yeah. It's one of those club-tailed Thagomizer dinosaurs, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. In Fang Fu. Oh my god.
Huh.
Enter the Year of the
Alright.
Dragon.
Trying to make sense of his face. Huh.
What?
All right. All right.
I'll take stuff you wouldn't get away with today for 500, Alex.
Well, and like we talk about like get away with it, but like we don't want him to get away with it. Like wouldn't fly.
Yeah. Oni pics.
You know what this looks like? This looks like an old RPG book.
Yeah, a little.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Oh, online romance. That's I see. Yes. Is that Jace?
This
Mm,
this is.
Oh, no, that's, Chris
saved
McKinley.
by A. Kremer.
Oh.
If you want, I can always go investigate the table of contents for their name and address at the time.
good lord. Right, and so like it's weird because we would never say it because oh look at that, kind of again Tailspin vibe.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit of old timey plane, seaplane.
Boobies.
Yeah. Again, the
Classic.
tasteful pinups.
Yeah.
Rowrbrazzle number 65, collating party.
Wow.
So everyone can come and show up and help them staple them together. Fred Patton even provided a map. There,
Very.
We've hit a
early
Pokemon.
Bulbasaur.
it's Venusaur, I believe.
It's a
Venusaur.
Bulbasaur.
Oh, sample.
Big old 9 is camera.
Mark Merlino.
Oh, that's Mark Merlino.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
This is size art. Obviously influenced
Wow.
by Ken.
Clearly influenced by
Yeah.
Ken. Ken recently made a great post on Blue Sky or something recently. It was great.
We had to get into a fetish, don't worry. Pause 58.
This
So
looks like it
it's-
was
it's like a-
done with watercolor or something.
Yeah. We're kind of still figuring out where ears go on an Anthro head.
Mixed media.
Yeah. How else are they going to wear headphones, Tempo?
I
Yeah,
know.
right?
If today was 20 years ago,
Half of 20
it's 20
years
years
ago.
ago
March
today.
1990 to be exact, when I left the waiting list and became a fully fledged member of Rowrbrazzle. That was number
Huh.
24, 40 issues, and 10 years ago. Like they say, time's fun when you're having flies. By Joe Strike.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Should get Joe Strike on one of the streams. He'd probably be down for it. He can
Someone in
push his
the
book.
to someone in the comments paraphrase. Yeah, Jay's passed last year or the year before due to complications from diabetes. He'd struggled with it for years and years and years. Sorry that you're finding out this way.
Oop.
Yeah.
That is a gender non-conforming pinup, if I've ever seen one. I don't think I can show it again.
Alas. Hit some Sonic.
Yeah. Some thirsty Sonic fanfic comic.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, for especially something like Rowrbrazzle, which is such a small distribution. And has only ever had like a fairly small distribution.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it concludes that Rowrbrazzle. What time are we at? 2:30? Well, I could go back to some of those Taral packages, or we could wrap it up early and put that with the other.
No, do like a short one. Grab something small.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got these red folders. This one is KB&A Future. Toronto the Hood.
Good.
And then behind it is a folder
Of math homework?
of actual paper labeled Future Pubs.
Oh.
Oh, this is like the idea board.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be much in this one. This might just go with the other master files, because I don't think I feel like going through this.
Right. Could be interesting to someone who's trying to like pin down the exact dates of these things for,
Yeah, but like even
grad school.
Even archives wouldn't be terribly interested in something like that. So like really only a personal collector might be interested in that, and I wouldn't really know where to start with that other than maybe at a convention auction. So yeah, this looks like another master or working copy. And of course, let's see if we can't find a date on this one.
So a question from the comments from Titan29. Welcome. They found it on the recommended and are tuning in, and they think it's awesome. They're asking, is this obvious or has it already been said? But are these going to be archived somewhere? We're hoping that some of it is going to get archived with a zine archive. Some of it may end up with other furries. But that's all sort of in process right now. Arrkay is in the process of opening these boxes after they've been isolated for quite some time.
It's
they had
long
bedbugs.
and tedious, and we made it fun by doing it live streamed. Okay.
Well, and there's sort
no
of
furry art in this one.
And we're filling a cup that has no bottom. Like there is no point at which you would be done with like perfectly archiving these in a reasonable time frame. Like you would be scanning hundreds of zines and then meticulously organizing them
I'm
and like
simply not equipped for that job. Nor do I have a desire to run my own archive. I don't have the space for it. So that was a little disappointing, but we're not done yet. This one is KVNA, ads, and MISC. So this could be a real mixed bag in this one.
Vinny the Dumb Cat asks, how often are these streams? Every couple of weeks, typically.
Yeah, so we're definitely not going to do next weekend because it's my birthday. And I'll be doing other stuff with my time and weekend. but the week after we'll probably do that. So like I'm kind of going for like every other week, but obviously we were here last week and we're here just a week later. So like it might be like a 2 weeks on, a week or two off kind of thing. This looks like my convention materials. Yeah, some test printing for a printer. Like, I don't think there's any value in this.
A lot of these intermediary steps would be the equivalent of like, this is a draft document, right?
Yeah, and that's neat.
Yeah.
But
what are you going to do with it ever?
These just might be destined for the recycle bin because I don't think anyone would want these.
Well, and like
it's a little fascinating that he obsessively hoarded every step of every process to make these, but by the same token, not all of it is relevant or interesting, right? Like,
well, right, but like at a certain point, you're sort of just saying like, I don't want to have to make decisions about what to keep. Let's just keep chugging and keep everything.
So, Dralen, this question for you: when you log on to Trapline BBS and there's a phone number, is the phone number like the IP address? Why do you need the phone number to get onto Trapline?
You actually have to phone it.
You have to phone it on your, and then like what? Like you turn on your router and then that takes the signal. Is that the idea?
Oh, sweet summer child.
I was born in 1990 when these were printed. Okay.
Yeah, no. So for anyone who has only experienced the internet as a standalone utility, when I was coming up on the internet, when I first started using the internet in the early 90s, you had a modem attached to your computer that was attached to the phone line, and typically your house had one phone line. And when you wanted to go online, you told your computer to phone the place you were trying to get to, either a BBS or a Freenet or what were like Oracle or AOL or whatever. You had to phone a server with your modem. And you'd get that box noises data connection noise that you get from a fax machine, and then you were online through the phone line.
Yeah, and there was a hard limit on how well you could communicate that way.
Yeah,
because
I was just wondering. I had never seen it like paired with the phone number before like that. Let's look at it as water damage.
If someone else in your house picked up a phone while you were online, they got an earful of static and you got disconnected.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I don't know if there's anything to do with this except maybe like throw it out. It's a little interesting, but I don't know who would want this strange collection of cutout working stuff. It's not like originals, like they're test prints, right?
Right, like is someone gonna make like an art piece with these? Like, what else would you do?
I don't know. Baycon Animations Festival. Like, these are cool. But, like, even an archive wouldn't keep 6 pages of this.
No.
Like, they're just copies.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't want anyone to feel bad or sad that we're losing something because there's so much that was saved from this. But stuff like this folder in particular, I think might just be garbage.
Yeah, and like you can winnow down and get rid of a bunch of the copies and duplicates, and it's suddenly a much slimmer package.
Pages that say strange attractors. No one does. This isn't valuable.
Well, and in the modern equivalent would be probably something like how I have sketches of artwork for stories, and I have them kicking around. But like seeing 10 incremental sketches.
Taral's family kept all of the originals. Taral's family kept the sketchbooks and his hard drives and all of that. And it was this gigantic hoard, literal hoard, is what I'm going through, basically. So he had his zine friends came and collected his sci-fi zines. His furry friends came and collected a lot of his furry art. so like his separate, very separate friend groups came together to rescue his collection. Yeah, like this is just print tests of the thing we already saw.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny asks, "Are there
so-
archives of the comics these are from?" A lot of these aren't actually from comics. They are like portfolio collections of just furry art.
Like here's bookmarks that he would have given away.
Yeah.
Like I don't
Yeah.
think he sold these. I think these were just
Free.
freebies that he would hand out. And like here's just a whole stack of them, and I don't. That's kind of neat.
You could give out bookmarks at a con.
Sure.
Still, you could give those old bookmarks out.
Well, unfortunately, they're nudes, so I think they would have to only be handed out in certain parts of a convention. And yeah, here's just more print tests of zines we already looked at.
You can give them to Scraps, and Scraps can hand them out for free with anytime anyone buys one of his hoods or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
And yeah, here, okay, these are covers, right? So here, these are printed on heavier stock. And so when he did a run of this zine, he had these like ready to go on the heavy cardstock. And then the cheaper paper would actually hold the contents. Right? But like, that isn't helpful for us.
Bits and pieces,
Yeah,
right? Like
this
when
is
we made the
very
Nordgard
bits and
card
pieces
game.
selection right here.
With the Nordgard card game, we ended up with a lot of bits and pieces of the game because some of them would arrive damaged, for example, or misprinted, and so we had a lot of like half games that we would then cobble together.
Okay, so I have more folders of pinups, and I have this one, which is labeled Conference 3, 4, 5, and 7. And this, I believe, is a folder of the artwork that he traded or drew while at these events. And I did flip through this before. There is a lot of nudity. So we're going to proceed with caution.
Oh,
so
my
you must go
very
to conference
first
all the way to the end.
my very first con experience, my very first FurCon was Conference 9 in 1998. That was the first one I ever went to.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember very much of it.
This one's cute.
I remember there was such a culture at the time of being online. Like there was a room that they called Elvis at those early FurCons, and that was the emergency link to vital internet services. It was just a room full of computers that you could get online, so you could talk with your friends.
Oh yeah,
online.
Yeah.
At the con.
Oh, that's a penis.
I
That's a booby.
remember, like there'd be like somebody who would have 10 computers, and they would bring 10 computers when they drove to the convention, and they would set up their computers in like some side room, and you could then get on them.
And that was the Elvis.
Yeah. I never heard the term.
I also want to point out that these aren't original art pieces. Like, these labeled them all very clearly for us. But these are all photocopies. So, like, these would have been drawn in sketchbooks and, like, at a sketchbook trade. And instead of, like, losing your art forever in someone's sketchbook, they all then went to the hotel's, like you can see here, the folds of the sketchbook on the top and the sides. So that way you could still, like, get a copy of everyone's drawings from that convention.
Right.
And everyone, kept the originals in their book still. And so obviously this is, like, all of Taral's drawings he did in other people's books. And some were gifts for him. And now we're getting some copies. And we're getting some breasts. So I'm guessing some of these were made in the privacy of a hotel room or an 18+ panel, and some of them were more like regular sketchbook swap kind of stuff. And like a stack of artwork like this that's helpfully labeled, I would pass this off to a furry archivist to scan.
Yeah.
Because then you just like feed it into a scanner and it can process them all way faster. than doing them one at a time.
Well, and it's
Because
weird
they're
because like we
weird to
think
make
of
pieces.
like a finished one, like a finished stapled one as better in some ways,
Yeah.
but it's actually kind of hard because you have to like remove the staples and it'll all be folded. You can't run it through easily.
I don't know if any of these names mean anything to anyone. Mike Curtis. I can't.
Well,
Roman,
and so
David Finger, Mark Merlino. We know
So-
Mark. Sorry,
it's a
go ahead.
bug elf. Titan says understands that things sometimes can't be backed up, but it's sad when things get thrown out. Well, okay, like again, in this production process, like I've been on the other side of this production process where like you have, 20 draft versions of a manuscript. Do you save all 20 draft versions? Like I have mine, but if I needed to back up my stuff, right, would I bother to save that? Is that meaningful to someone? There's a Sailor Moon chick.
Sailor Moon.
Okay. We are almost to the bottom of this crate. But yeah, this collection, being rather weird and obscure and mostly of Taral's characters, might be interesting for a private collector. But certainly not something I can bring to the Zine archive. Okay, we got 3 folders at the bottom here. What are these? Looks like we have Conference 8 through 13. And a collection of mouse pinups. So we'll put that
Nice
in
or
the pinup
nice.
stack.
Okay.
For now, let's go through these conference ones.
You know what I haven't seen a lot of in this? Hybrid personas.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a long time, Toronto was kind of like the home of weird hybrids because there was a bunch of us here. There was a strange collection.
How early was Toronto seen as a particularly queer, gay, furry space?
I can't answer that real well because I didn't really join Toronto Furry until I moved here in like 2003. Now I knew a few people here prior to that, and then quite quickly got in with like Potteroo and that group fairly early. But by then it had already been pretty well established. I knew Toral and Hiker and stuff before that. But for instance, Cargo Weasel
Cargi.
started.
Now. It's Cargi.
Cargi, yes, absolutely. Sorry,
It's okay.
I've known them for so long.
It's
as one
recent
thing.
enough. I don't think anyone will be terribly offended.
And going to be at FE this year. But
good. I should say hi to her. Maybe give her a stack of skunk pinups.
The sort of premier at the time, the premier gay hangout spot on Furry Muck was Purple Nurple, which Cargi started, based on a club here in Toronto, based on a nightclub, a gay nightclub here in Toronto.
I believe it was the Black Eagle, but some people
No,
said
it was a combination of. No, it was a combination. Well, it went through a couple iterations. The one that lasted the longest was actually a combination of Fly and Five, which were 2 clubs on the north end of the gay strip. They were off Church. They weren't on Church Street. They were on side streets, toward Yonge. And I've been actually to both of those clubs, and neither of them, of course, exist any longer because that is the nature of time. But yeah, so there's a little bit of Toronto queer in. Oh wow,
I might keep this one for me.
Yeah, there's a little.
It's a train joke.
Toronto queer in early furry culture in the DNA, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's another example of having too many of one copy of something. There's like 5 of these. Why did Taral
Well, right.
keep 5 of them?
Because
But-
each of them cost a nickel. That's a lot of money back then.
Right, because you printed them out at conference, intending to hand them out to the people who were at that sketchbook swap. Right? Dealer's Room.
Hmm.
CF9. The Joy of Cleaning Up at a Good Con. Taral Wayne, 1998.
You've got to walk that fine line between archiving and hoarding.
Yes. And I think Taral, I don't know how well he did it, but he did at least label most of it, which helps the archiving part a lot. Because now we don't have to guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Hmm.
Yeah, you can see like the
Was there any-
sketchbook rings here.
Was there any Phil Burgess in the CF9?
Or Conference 9. Phil Burgess. Let's see here. No. I do not
Nope, okay.
I do not see that name.
All right.
We have Al Fishback, Greg Jacoby, Steve Martin, Al Temple, Daryl Bovenuto, Doyle Lawson, Richard Thatcher, William Heschel, Richard Chandler, Brian Yelverton. I know Rich Chandler because he came up in my gay furry history research. He ran Gallery, which was like it was another APA similar to Rowrbrazzle. And he came up in my furry history project because he was kind of homophobic and wrote about that in his publication. And that didn't age super well, and I think he was a big part of the burned furs and left the fandom shortly after.
Right.
Yes. So this
Oh,
is
no.
Roz
Anyway.
The
Gibson.
Rocketeer.
Roz Gibson. This is the character Jack Salem, who is problematic, but very iconic. He has he looks like a fox, but he's actually, I think, a mink.
I think he's Pine Martin or something.
Yeah, he's a Pine Martin or something. And he is a grapist and a schmatzy, and
There was actually Jack Salem fursuit in the footage
like
showing at the beginning.
I think he was
Like,
just
the
like
character design is so good.
ultimate villain, bad guy character. I can't fault them too much for making a character like that because making villains is fun. But it's
And the character design is so good.
Yeah, you can kind of cross over into when people lose when it's satire, you know, when they start taking it a little too seriously. Should I pull this one out aside? I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice looking, but it does stand out amongst a lot of these other sketches as being like more complete, you know, more realized. Like this is almost.
And the Rocketeer was a good guy,
right?
The Rocketeer was a good guy.
Rocketeer's a good guy. Jack Salem's a bad guy.
Bad guy.
And some distasteful nudes, some mud wrestling with your boobies out. Conference 12. Steve Martin, Al Temple. So many boobies. Yeah, so stuff like this. Maybe I will bundle up all these duplicates because there's duplicates. So many. I can like auction off the same package at multiple conventions.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, put it in the silent auction or whatever,
yeah.
the art show, yeah.
Because here's more fucking duplicates. There's some Sonic artwork. You can also see how the fidelity is different between the photocopies. So maybe they adjusted their settings or something, or went back with inks. Oop, that's a cooch. Sorry, my phone's going off. Conference 13, 2002. Don't see any names standing out. There's an interesting skunk tour. So I think after this folder, I only have more pinups left, and I don't think there's going to be too much in there that isn't like skunk pussy. So I think we're going to wrap up at the end of this folder.
Pussy, yeah.
You know, okay. This is fun. This is a really cool stylistic cartoon.
Yeah,
it's obviously
really
like
is,
weird fetish art or whatever, but like, look at her attitude. Like, it looks like she's holding a stick of dynamite. Like, she's popping balloons between her thighs, as one does.
The epitome of that toony aesthetic.
Yeah, but just look at that facial expression, the sass.
Yeah, no, it's super.
Yeah. Land Down Under, another double. Yeah, and on this one, this will be a good example. I think I showed this too. The very top there, you can see Business Bunnies, original, and then you have the dimensions, and then TIFF. So this was a .tiff file that they brought to the convention and printed off at the hotel. If not the hotel's printer, then the printer they brought for the computer room.
It was not easy to transport TIFFs because you didn't have thumb drives back then, and TIFFs were lossless, and they were huge image files.
Yeah, you would be walking around with like a hard drive that was like artisanal loaf of bread,
or you had like a zip disk or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that will conclude for today. We went through another crate almost completely, with the exception of that inch of skunk pinups. Not shown was the 2 other inches of pinup folders labeled with other animals.
Right.
So thank you for joining us for this edition of Furry Film Bureau's Unboxing Vintage Furry Zines. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe to the Furry Film Bureau for video essays, movie reviews, and of course zine unboxings. Do check out Tempo's books in the description. Do you have any?
And Dralen's audio work.
Dralen,
my most recent furry work
online, or do you want to remain an elusive mystery?
No, I mean, you can find me on Blue Sky at the D Hamel, DHEDHAMEL. I recently completed an audiobook for Dakota Copeland's My Reminisces, which should be coming out soon. That was a fun one. That's a fun read. And the book is nominated for an Ursa Major, I believe, recently. So
that's right. Yes, keep an eye out for those Ursa Major nominations are coming through. So those will be announced any day now.
And you can find me on YouTube under Daniel Hamill voiceover, where I've got a few samples of my stuff up there, some long form stuff, some comic dubs, and various and sundry. And thank you for having me. I will, anytime you want me back, I will come back.
Great. Yes, I may tap you that in the future. I'm going to see if we can't get Nuka on here for one. Maybe I'll reach out to Joe Strike for one. There's a few of the preservationists in the furry preservation chat that are keen to come on and gush about the old furry work we're digging up. So keep an eye out for our future guests.
Yeah.
And we may even experiment with more than one guest at a time. Who knows? We're kind of
Whoa.
Yeah.
I don't mind being the token old.
Right.
Okay, I actually got to reach over and turn it off manually now. Let's see here. I always mess this up. Okay, goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Toodaloo.
And there we go. Excellent. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
My pleasure.